The Double Special Heroes banner is back again for June 2023. Reminder, before you're tempted to spend any orbs, we have arrived at the double summer banners. First one is on the 19th, second one is a week into July. Will Engage get some seasonal ults before his second banner? Who knows? Anyway, today we'll be briefly going over the 8 returning seasonal units before their reruns. The returning 4-star focus unit this time is Kadean Male Byleth, who has the 3% rate all to himself. Now, starting with the red group, first is Ninja Camilla, a flying red mage who can be quite annoying. She's optimized for lower speed, so she can take a hit. However, Flowey Scroll gives Camilla advantage if she has higher res than the enemy. This is paired with good base attack, accelerated specials, and dual phase brave attacks. This weapon also further drops speed in exchange for bonus defense and res. Camilla can advantage cheese low res foes easily, and to increase her chances, she has Seal Res 4 and Attack and Res Hold. She then has Close Salvo for close counter capabilities. Very annoying unit, and she was in the top 4 of this year's A Hero Rises banner. If you're looking to take Camilla's fodder, this month we have a free Attack and Res Rain from the Valentian Poly ephemera. It's easy to get Seal Res 3, so you can get all top skills for another flying mage. You could also just settle without hold, just go for the Rain C skill, and you could just use Close Salvo and Seal Res 4 on a non-flying unit. Joining Camilla is Harmonic, Kadean Linde, and Sarah. They can provide the no follow-up status and a status that ignores terrain slowing penalties. For combat, Linde is a high attack and speed red mage cavalier that has slaying, some true damage, and cuts %DR effects in half. Great, since this class cannot run Special Spiral 4 or the new Magic No Follow. The Harmonized skill grants Resonance Blaze, Dodge, and Bread type cooldown statuses. For skills, Linde has Remote Sparrow for more DR, Speed and Res Far Trace for Kanto, and Defense Res Smoke 3 to gain access to Pathfinder. Pretty scary mage cav with some unique support perks. Red is definitely good to summon on, a bunch of newer skills, and one of the A Hero Rises banner units. Next up is the blue group with Kadean Male Byleth, a blue infantry mage. He has great attack and speed for a 4-star focus unit, and his weapon has slaying, with the unit cannot be slowed by terrain status and the dodge status. Byleth also gets full tempo effects and will pass +4 dual stats for nearby allies as a drive buff. This Byleth keeps his Liturgy alt's Sublime Heaven special, which is most importantly going to be able to pierce DR skills, automatically makes him a great unit. For other skills, Byleth brings Speed and Res Finish 3 and Low Speed and Res 3. Speed and Res Finish 4 is only on a single unit, but the tier 3 is still great in a build. Low Speed and Res 3 is solid as well. Joining Byleth is Byleth, although this will be dual Halloween, Sothis and Byleth. This Sothis is a flying blue dragon with high speed and decently balanced defensive spread. Sothis' weapon has Slaying, neutralizes dragon effectiveness, distant counter, and +5 to all stats. She will keep Serious as your special, which deals damage based on 30% speed, and it will also heal with a noontime effect. Their dual skill grants no follow-up status and times pulse to nearby allies. It recharges every 3rd turn as well. For skills, you got Attack and Speed Solo 4, Dragon's Wrath 3, and Attack and Speed Rain 3. Solo 4s have arguably been replaced by some better options, and Dragon's Wrath 4 is not that amazing. The tier 4 is quite impressive though, so worth saving for that. Attack and Speed Rain is fine for any flyers looking for some debuffs. Overall, Blue's an interesting group. Kadean Byleth is a great 4-star focus mage, and Dual Sothis is a bit unique with nullifying dragon effectiveness and having that distant counter. Moving on to the green group, we have New Year's Elm, who is a green flying beast unit with good speed. Elm's weapon has Slaying, +6 stack and speed, offense and no follow-up, plus scaling true damage and damage reduction based on the number of foes around the enemy. This will include the main target, so you need 2 other nearby enemies for the max values of 30% speed true damage per hit and 60% DR. Those are quite high numbers, but Elm technically will get weaker and weaker as you're clearing out enemies. For skills, other sources of colorless feud, and Elm is the only unit with Beast Near Trace. This is a beast only B skill with Near Trace Kanto, and the user always transforms no matter what. Pretty good B skill for a lot of the beast calves or flyers especially, so they always have the permanent 3 movement. Joining Elm is Valentine's Leo, who's a green bow cavalier. Leo has very high attack and res with some speed and horrendous defense. His Dust Bloom bow is pretty cool. At start of player and enemy phase, if Leo has higher res than foes in line with him, then he inflicts -17 res and gravity. Because this procs when either phase starts, that lets Leo apply gravity to multiple rows or columns, which can lead to a lot of enemies only getting 1 movement. pretty annoying effect, definitely need to watch out for that. For combat, Leo has Sling, +5 stats, and does an in-combat res check. 1 or more res gets him a follow-up attack, 4 or more res gets true damage on hit equal to 20% res, 7 or more res gets offense on a follow-up with 30% DR for 1 hit. This is a pretty stacked weapon, but Leo needs to win res checks in and out of combat. Leo will be almost unkillable when initiating against a mage, but any physical damage or dragon will mess him up. With Remote Mirror, he adds a 30% DR to try and tank a hit, but that might still not be enough, especially if it gets doubled. If he can make it through, you do have Attack Miss for Trace for Kanta. I do think Valentine's Leo's quite a fun unit, unique long-range support that works on both phases, and you can do some good damage if you let him. Into slow tanks, you can give Leo Wind Sweep to ignore counterattacks, and for dragons, you could run Mystic Boost. Just some interesting build options are available. Overall, green is not bad, 2 decent units, and you have a couple rare skills. Last up is Colorless, starting with Spring Triandra. She's a flying colorless mage and a dancer. Don't underestimate her though, pure glass cannon stats will hurt if left unchecked. Triandra's Tome grants bonus attack and speed, and when she dances an ally, she grants them foe penalty doubler and inflicts panic on foes in cardinal directions. Panic debuffs will stack with debuffs for foe penalty doubler, and Triandra's Dance will inflict -3 debuffs to all stats, plus the guard for extra support power. You then have Firestorm Dance 3, which grants +6 attack and speed field buffs, Desperation, and Kanta 1 to the enhanced ally. I believe this is still the only tier 3 dancer beast skill that has been released, and it is quite powerful. If that wasn't enough, Triandra will have Defense Hold for extended range debuffing. Altogether, very competent dancer kit, as expected of the book for fairies. Last up for today is duo Valentine's Elise and Sakura. They are a cavalry healer with jacked offensive stats, and Elise will use those stats to abuse the new offensive healer tools. Elise's staff has built-in Dazzling Staff, Slaying, +6 attack and speed, offense and no follow-up, and breath type cooldown. After combat, she then inflicts the flash status on nearby enemies. Just an absolutely disgusting weapon for a healer. Pretty much the same for all the new 5-star healers in year 7. Unless we get an arcane staff that focuses on offense, there is really no way for other healers to compete with this kind of combat power. Now, to abuse this weapon, Elise has Holy Pressure, which is the 3 cooldown damage special for healers, and it inflicts AoE gravity after combat. It's almost impossible for inheritable staff healers to proc this thing in 1 round. However, the AoE gravity is pretty dang strong if you're able to. To get more damage, Elise will have Poetic Justice, which is the Wrathful Staff 4 skill. It inflicts -4 speed and grants true damage on hit equal to 50% of the foe's attack stat. For even more damage, their dual skill grants Dominance to Elise and nearby allies. She then inflicts -7 defense debuffs in a pretty large area. We just got a unit who can grant Treachery. Well, you can stack Treachery and Dominance together, so yeah, maybe think about that if you have Hater and Elise. Elise is by far one of the best users of her full combat medic skill set, but if you want to juice up another healer, then by all means go ahead. If you have Wrathful Staff 3 already, you can grab Poetic Justice with Holy Pressure. You could also go for Odd Recovery as well. If you think Death is the best support, you could also just pass along Attack and Speed Catch 4. Overall, insane offensive healer, insane amount of godlike fodder skills. If you want some support units, Colorless is the place to be. That'll be it for this month's Double Special Heroes banner. One last effort to bait orbs out before we head into our usual summer madness. There's a lot going on in the next weeks if you're planning to summon. On the 19th, that should be the first summer banner. We then have the legendary banner on the 30th. We are doing back-to-back legendaries. A week after that, on the 7th of July, we have the second summer banner, most likely. In between all of this is a ridiculous amount of summer banner reruns. If you wanted the busted House Leaders plus Micaiah summer banner from last year, that is Summer Vacation on the 24th. Whatever you decide to do, plan your orb spending, and good luck on your summoning. That's all I got for this video. I will see you in the next one.